book written by you is Milkweed. Although I have read all of your books except for your new one, Hokey Pokey. I am very excited to read it. All of your books that I have read, well, I have loved each and every one of them.
It was about that time, about halfway through 11th grade, that I decided I would be a writer. And that's why I say by the time I went off to Gettysburg College, I knew I wanted to be a writer. And that's when I really started collecting rejection slips. I could paper Mighty Writers headquarters here with my rejection slips. That's part of the game.
You have inspired me to write creative and wacky stories. Your writing is so creative, so exotic, and one of a kind.
I would use my lunch hours to write, and then go home and write after dinner when other people, other young 20-somethings, you know, my age, were going out and having a beer and a pretzel here and there. I'm sitting there at my desk writing, and nobody is telling me to do it. Just like nobody told me to write that poem on Mexico. I'm doing this on my own. It's not an assignment, and I'm doing it day after day because I want to do it. And I figured, okay, I have just earned the right to call myself a writer.
I also enjoy writing poems and short stories. The reason Milkweed is my favorite is because, strangely enough, I enjoy stories about World War II. I find them very interesting and insane. I also feel strongly that I can relate to a lot of your characters.
I'm remembering a letter from a kid back in the 1990s. Said, I really liked Space Station 7th grade. Jason is just like me. Were you hiding in my closet? How do you know what I'm thinking? And I told the kid, listen, I'm just, I was 13 once. All I'm doing is going back up into the attic of my own memory and blowing the dust off of all that stuff. And I'm just remembering what it was like myself. You see? Because he thought it was so up to date. You know? He didn't see any difference between himself and that kid, and yet that kid in the book is based on memories of me when I was a kid 40 years before. You know, half a century ago. What's that tell you? It tells you that kids don't change. It tells you that people don't change. It tells you that maybe you're wearing different kinds of shoes now and different kinds of hair and so forth, but you're still the same kind of 13-year-old kid as I was in the 1956. See?
In conclusion, I'd like to ask you what some of your writing tools are to create your characters. I'd love for you to reply because you are my favorite author, and I would like to be as good of an author as you one day.